to this episode of Inspired Coach Podcast. We have for you today an inspirational interview with the wonderful Gill D'Cunha. And Gill is here to talk to us about how to make the most out of your life coach training. And this is going to be relevant to you, whether it is that you may be training or considering training with us here at the Beautiful You Coaching Academy, or indeed any sort of life coach training. And in fact, I think this episode is so wonderful that no matter what type of study you might be considering or experiencing going through right now, it's going to be relevant for any type of study that you might think is right for you at this time in your life. And this is a really special time for us at the Beautiful You Coaching Academy because our July 2023 course is about to begin. Hello and welcome to all of you. We are so excited for the next 9 months ahead in your lives. We cannot wait to go on this journey with you. Our next course doesn't begin until February 2024, so we're riding with you all until that time and the next cohort of trainees come in, and we just want to send out a big shout out to all of you. Well done for starting this adventure and journey, and we're going to be with you the entire way. So that's why this particular episode is being released this week, because we think it's amazing, not just for those trainees starting out, but is going to be incredible, as I mentioned before, for all of you. So let me tell you a little bit more about Gill. So Gill D'Cunha is the founder of Empowered Soul Collective, and she is a beyond career coach, supporting mid-career professional women to empower themselves to reclaim their joy, freedom, connection and purpose in and beyond their career. Gill is also the proud winner of the 2022-2023 Beautiful You Coaching Academy Trainee of the Year Award. And so you better believe that you could not be learning from anybody better when it comes to how to make the most out of your life coach training because Gill was such an incredible trainee herself, and so you are getting it from somebody that was so devoted, so incredible with their studies that she's gone on to win an award. So I know that everyone is going to love this episode so much. I also want to let everybody know about something very exciting that we have just released here at the Beautiful You Coaching Academy. It's brand new. It's called Transform Yourself and Create a Life You Love. It is a free video series that we have recorded for anybody who wants to be inspired into action to start living the life they know has always been waiting for them. It is for anybody who is feeling a little stuck, maybe a lot stuck, a little stale or a lot stale, somewhat like you're going through the motions, living up to other people's expectations, maybe putting your own dreams on the back burner. But you know that there's something really tugging at your heart, that there is something more for you in your life, especially because you love people so much and you adore seeing them shine and going for their dreams, but deep down you know you're not really doing that for yourself. And you want it to be your time to bring your life dreams from the back burner right up to the front. Well, this Transform Your Life video series is for you. And in it, we're going to be talking about things like how to transform fear and start stepping into the life you most want. How to look at things like comparing yourself to other people and imposter complex so you can start to really prioritize those big dreams that you have. How to build confidence and self-belief, that real self-belief that you're truly craving, so you can live authentically and with purpose and inspire other people around you as you do so. It is a 3-part video series. It contains beautiful, exclusive bonus guides and workbooks to go with it. I am your host for that, and I have absolutely loved every moment of creating it for you. As I said, it is something brand new. We have never done this before, and we are really excited about it. Now, if you are somebody who is either a life coaching trainee or you're already a life coach and you are loving the life that you live and everything feels great for you, this is not for you. It really is for those people who are feeling very stuck and uncertain about their life and not living on song, not living on point. And so maybe you might have clients that you might know or friends that you might know that this could be perfect for. We welcome everybody to sign up for it if you think it's relevant for you, but this one is not specifically targeted at anybody who is already a coach. It is just something that we've created for anyone that is having these feelings in their life. It's like, I want it to be my time. I want it to transform myself. I want to transform myself. I want to really create a life that I love. And so you can sign up, or you can guide anybody that you think this is relevant for to sign up for the Transform Yourself and Create a Life You Love video series at beautifulyoucoachingacademy.com/transform your life. And just to mention again, it is entirely free. And so we would love to see you or anybody that you think might love this there. Now, though, it's time to go to Gill D'Cunha and how to make the most out of your life coach training. We hope that you love this episode ahead, and big shout out again to all of our July 2023 trainees. We hope that you love your life coaching course ahead. Gill D'Cunha, you're on the Inspired Coach podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Julie. It's great to be here with you.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on as our guest today, Gill. And this is a topic that I have never interviewed anyone about before, and specifically in regards to not just the Beautiful You life coaching course, but I think this is going to have deep relevance to any person that might be exploring studying any sort of life coaching course. And indeed, I think it's going to have relevance to anybody studying anything. And so we're here to talk about how you can make the very most out of your life coach training. And as I just mentioned, let's expand that to just anything that you might do that requires you to be in a study mode or a growth mode, which in my experiences, life coaches are a lot.
Yes, they are. It is true.
Amazing. So, Gill, when you first made the decision to study with us, did you enter into that experience with some fairly certain ideas of how it was that you would like to show up, or were you just going to see what unfolded?
Great question, Julie. I'm not surprised that it's a great question coming off at the start. I didn't really have any preconceived notions about how I was going to show up because I didn't know what to expect. I had a friend who was actually studying with you at the time that I enrolled, so she had showed me some of the materials and the membership portals and kind of given me an introduction to Beautiful You. But I really just had no idea what I was in for. And so I kind of showed up at the beginning just being open and willing to see how things panned out.
Well, that's really amazing for me to know, because the reason that we here at the Academy have specifically chosen you to be the person that is here talking about this topic is because you were such an outstanding trainee. And in fact, you are the current winner of the 2022 to 2023 trainee of the year. And so something's happened, Jill. Like
something did happen.
something did happen, because you've just said, "Oh, I was just kind of going to see what would happen and I just rolled up." But to give everyone some context here, your openness and your willingness to see what may happen ended up with you being an incredibly dedicated, devoted, and committed trainee. So what happened?
What happened? I think it was a beautiful merging of being welcomed into such an amazing community that you and everyone at Team Beautiful has created. And also, I think finding, almost coming home to something that I knew was what I should be doing with my life. So as I started doing the modules and the content, I just, for want of a better description, I think I got sucked in to all of the goodness, and then I just wanted more. No matter like what I did, I just felt really connected, really happy, like I had a purpose doing the work. And so it came quite easily to be involved and invested in all of the different ways that I could be. So yeah, I think it was just, I got sucked in in the most beautiful way that you can be.
Well, I'm glad for that. I am really glad for that, because it is genuinely true that you were such a devoted and incredible trainee, and just fully there for yourself, and also along the way so supportive and encouraging, and fully there for your fellow trainees as well. So let's talk a little bit more about that sucking in, so to speak. For that to have occurred, you must have begun in the early stages of deeply resonating with the content. And that's a wonderful thing. However, would I be right in saying that resonating with something and finding it always easy or straightforward, there's not necessarily a direct line between those two things?
Absolutely. Yes. No, that's so true. As much as, the content was absolutely things that I resonated with and really felt connected with, there were so many times when it felt so challenging, especially when you read the content, it feels like, yes, I know this all makes sense, but bringing it to life and embodying it and trying it can feel quite challenging a lot of the time. So yeah, there's 100%, there's not a straight line between resonating and finding it easy.
Can you give us an example, Jill? Like, what was something that you studied in the course that maybe even on the surface you're like, oh, I really love this, I resonate with this, I get why I'm doing this, but you actually found really challenging?
Oh gosh. Let me have a think about this for a second. Now you've put me on the spot.
Well, maybe a better way to put it, another question is, what was the part of the course that you found the most stretching, the most challenging for you?
I think was actually when we started to do the coaching, and putting it into practice and taking the coaching model that, we learn about and putting that into practice. Because again, you read the content and it all makes sense. It seems logical, and I'm a very, very logical person. So that all made sense to me. But then bringing that to life and coaching with my buddy, shout out to Jen, by the way, Jen Davidson, amazing coach and buddy. But yeah, trying to bring that to life in an actual coaching session was just really, I guess it was new, and it was something that I'd never done before. So, my background is I was an accountant for 20 years. So trying to do this other thing, which again, you've got a beautiful script that you can follow, But then doing that with someone and actually bringing your own personality and your flavor and your experience to that felt really stretchy and really challenging.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for being honest about that. And I, for one, am, it might sound strange to people, but I'm actually really glad that you've said that, because I do think sometimes that people come into something like life coaching, and we know that people often have lots of other skills, including working directly with people. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the skill of life coaching and how that may develop for someone is going to be an easy or straightforward path.
Mm.
And that seems okay to say on the surface, but what ends up happening, and I'd be interested to know whether this happened for you, is that it can ignite our perfectionism,
Yes.
our belief that we have to, it's like, I'm an adult, I should know how to do this, how comfortable we are with discomfort, and a whole range of other things. And so, did you have some parts of yourself that were a bit ignited along the way?
Parts of myself, Julie, like almost all of me. I am a self-confessed recovering perfectionist and will wholeheartedly admit that a lot of the time I'm my own worst critic. So all of those things came up a lot of the time, and there was a lot of criticism around I'm not doing it right. I could be better, which I think, as I say that, I think we can always work at being better at our craft. But in the beginning stages, when you're a complete newbie, you're always like, I can do this way better than I'm doing it. And yeah, when I remember in my first session with Jen, when we were doing our first proper session, I think it took us about 2 hours to get through.
Right.
And we were both like, this shouldn't be taking this long. So yeah, there was a lot of the criticisms and the perfectionism coming up. But I think the key is just to give it space to grow, to learn, to make mistakes, because in that environment, that's the place where you can make the mistakes and just grow together, I think. But yeah.
Absolutely. It is the perfect environment to muck things up, to wobble, to fall over, to, as you know, make mistakes, which really are just opportunities for learning. Like, if we can, one of the
Absolutely.
great things that coaches do often with their clients and with themselves is to help themselves and others reframe something. And, mistakes in a learning environment, they really aren't mistakes at all. They're actually opportunities for learning and growth, because in my experience in life with my own learning, the greatest learning that comes about is when something doesn't go to plan,
Mm.
doesn't go fully as expected, doesn't go the way that you want it to, or it actually is just outright wrong, or you fail. That is a very different and more intense and growth filled type of learning than if you are getting something just about right all the time, but making incremental steps forward.
So true.
Yeah, I really feel that. And so tell us, Jill, what level of self-compassion did you have for yourself as you were recovering from your perfectionism, learning this new skill of coaching and moving through the learning? Because whatever it is that you did to support yourself, it obviously worked because you kept showing up so brilliantly. You never let it get you. You never let it made you, you didn't retreat. You didn't turn in on yourself. You kept at it and kept going.
Yeah, there was a lot of self-compassion. It had to be a lot to balance out all of the perfectionist tendencies and the criticism. And yeah, I think it was just a case of just remembering that I was a beginner. This was all new, and almost thinking back to when I first started my accounting career, remembering that when I started that, I didn't really know what I was doing once I'd graduated from uni as well. And you just have to show up, start learning, make those, those fumbles, as you said, which are great opportunities for learning. And I think, yeah, it was just coming back every day and saying, I'm trying, I'm doing my best, and taking those learnings and integrating it. And also having a buddy is amazing to support you, but also the Beautiful You community I found was a great place to, like a great soft landing place almost, to be supported in that as well. So in the times when I didn't feel like I could give myself that compassion, I found that the community around me was also able to support me as well. And yeah.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear. And I have seen that time and time again. And I also saw you do that for many other trainees as well, which is just one of the reasons why you were and have been and are our most outstanding trainee, of the last 12 months, which is wonderful. Gill, I absolutely want to talk to you about the experience of having a buddy in the course. But before I do that, because I think it's really important, given we're talking about immersing yourself in the skills of becoming a life coach, do you feel confident to say that in comparison to when you first started coaching, that very first time you ever did it in a practice way, through to where you are now, graduated and out there, how do you feel now about where you're at, like at the end of the course and now?
Oh, so much better. So much better.
Thank goodness.
I know. Big sigh of relief. Yes, so much better. Yeah, it's interesting. I was actually watching one of the recordings from one of the first sessions I did, and it's where I am now is light years ahead of where I was before. And in those moments when you're like, I'm never going to get any better than this, it just feels so hard and so clunky and disjointed, and I feel like I'm trying too hard. The more practice you do, the easier it gets. And I think, that's key. And so now when I look at how I coach, I still have moments where I'm a little bit unsure, and questioning what I'm doing, but it's still, light years ahead of where I was a year ago.
That is wonderful to hear. And I'm glad that we got that in for everybody just to feel reassured. And that version of your events and your path is what we see happen. But it can be so hard to believe when you are in the messy middle of learning something brand new and you feel like a little, foal on very, very wobbly legs before you fully find your feet. But then once you do, just like with any skill development, whether it's something as simple as learning to tie your shoelaces or making a souffle or learning how to knit a scarf or a jumper or a skill, coaching is a skill. And therefore, the more you do it and the more you practice, the better that you get at it. And so, Gill, one of the things that is an option for anybody that wants to do it in this course is to actually be paired with a trainee who we call your buddy. And that coaching buddy relationship, it expressly is for you to coach them for 6 sessions and them to coach you. So you get an experience of being both coach and client together. This is not something that is compulsory to do in the course. It is an option that people say, yes, I would like to be matched with a buddy, which, by the way, is done very consciously. You are not randomly paired with someone. We take into account a lot of different factors that we know about our incoming trainees to match you with someone that we hope is going to be as resonant for you as possible. Now, you chose to have a buddy in the course. Can you tell us what sort of difference you think that made for you in your experience and your confidence now as a coach?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have a buddy in the course, to be honest, because I feel like it was hugely supportive of, my one of my core values is connection. So being in close connection with someone alone was amazing, but I just found it was such a great place to experiment with someone who is going through exactly the same thing as you. So all of the fears and the doubts, they're feeling the same thing. And yeah, it was just such an amazing way to start practicing the skills that we were learning. And on top of that, having a connection with someone that you could share questions throughout the course. And Jen and I, throughout the whole 6 months, were messaging each other constantly on WhatsApp saying, what's happening with this module? How do you feel about this? And so having that connection with someone that you can bounce things off of throughout the course was so amazingly helpful when, we didn't have access to yourselves as trainers, or we didn't have access to anyone else in the community. It was really great to have that one-to-one connection. And yeah, at an absolute minimum, I can't recommend having a buddy enough, just because you get to practice those skills.
Yeah.
And I feel like while you're in the container of the training course, being able to do that is amazing, versus being a graduate and then having to do it with potentially a stranger. And I can't imagine, having had to do that outside of the course and not having done it before.
There's a safety aspect and a
Oof,
security aspect that is a part of that, isn't there?
very much so. Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Because you both are in the same position of learning together, and you both have compassion for each other. You can both be vulnerable with each other as you are growing, making those mistakes slash learning opportunities,
Yes.
and also celebrating when things go well. And,
Yes.
because there's that too, isn't there?
There is, absolutely, yes. Yeah. And when you do have a great moment, it's great to have that person to celebrate with you, because again, they know the challenges and the doubts and the things that you've overcome to get to that place. And having someone see your growth so closely is also so amazing as well.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful witnessing, isn't it?
Yes.
Of each other, which is amazing. And so while again, as we've said, this is not a compulsory part of the course, it's something that we offer, and it is absolutely something that if everyone can find the time to do it, because it is a commitment of extra
Mm.
time, it's something we absolutely recommend that everyone do. Gill, I'd like to now shift gears a little bit and talk to you about your trainee experience of being supported by your trainers and the learning that you gleaned from the teachers and guides and trainers that you had in the course. Can you tell us a little bit about how you lent into that? Because just again, to give everyone context, you were someone that when you turned up live on calls, you were there and you were asking questions, and you really leaned into us significantly, which is not the way that everyone learns, but it's definitely something that we want everyone to feel as comfortable as possible, knowing that we want you to do that too. So, did you feel supported?
100%, a million percent, actually. I felt very supported, yes, because as you say, there's different ways that you can learn and grow and consume the content that's provided. But for me, I just wanted to get as much knowledge out of the trainers' brains as I could in person as well, because there's a very big difference between, I think, getting support on a Facebook group or in the membership site, which I did all of course. Like, as I said, I'm trying to get all of the goodness out of everyone at Team Beautiful. But I found on the calls being able to ask questions and get that one-to-one connection again. Here, I'm back at connection again. But get the one-to-one connection and get each trainer's knowledge on call was amazing. And I felt, and I saw this as well, when other people asked questions on the call as well, I got all of the goodness from those questions as well. There were questions that sometimes I was too afraid to ask. There were questions that I didn't even know I needed to ask. And then there was just the whole wealth of the experience in the call. I felt I needed to lean in for my own learning, the way I wanted to absorb the course content and the learnings. And so I asked questions on the call. I got involved in the Facebook group, the membership site. I took it all in because the 6 months for the course that I did went so quick. And this 9-month course, I'm sure, is going to go very quick also. So I can't encourage everyone enough to just take all of those opportunities. And I know that it can be a little bit scary to put yourself out there on a call and be seen and be heard. But I just want to remind you that it's the best thing you can do to try and overcome those fears. And you won't only be helping yourself, you'll be helping everyone else that's on the call and that's watching back the replay as well.
Truer words were never spoken. And as you know, Gill, one of the things that we as trainers say, probably I think multiple times throughout the course, is that you all end up being each other's teachers just as much as we do. And often that comes through the using of your voice and asking questions, sharing reflections, being vulnerable about where you are at. And then that allows your fellow trainees and future coaches to see themselves in you and learn from you as well, which is, just really potent. I've just got a couple more questions to ask you, Gill. And the next one I want to ask you is about your experience of attending an in-person inspiration day. Now, there are these opportunities that we offer in every course for people to come together for these days. They're not days where we discuss curriculum and skill development. And therefore, if someone is not able to attend one or both of them in their course, it's not going to be to their detriment. But what they are a day about is connection, celebration, getting to meet each other in person and your trainers and hear from some incredible speakers and panelists that can inspire your personal growth, your coaching growth, your professional and business growth as well. Worth it?
Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Bold, underline, flashing lights. Yes. I've been to 3, Julie.
I know. See, sometimes we're even able to invite alumni again, in the future. Sometimes we have places available and we open those up to our alumni. So yes, you've been to a number of them now, which is amazing. Why are they worth it?
Oh, wow. Okay. So there are so many things. Number one, as you said, meeting some of your fellow trainees in person is incredible. I mean, the wonder of technology, the fact that we can do this, the fact that we can do online learning is amazing, but nothing beats in-person, human-to-human connection. And I'm a hugger. So the first thing I do when I see anybody is give them a big squishy hug. So being able to do that with the people that you've seen on screen and yourselves, the trainers, is really, really incredible. Just the energy that's in a room at an inspiration day. I can't say I've been in any other space where I felt the energy. I mean, get a room of life coaches together. It's going to be amazing. Beautiful you life coaches, next level. It's just, I try to explain it to people that don't know. And I'm like, it's incredible. And the speakers that you curate to present at the inspiration days have all been phenomenal. I have gone on to coach with 2 people that have spoken at inspiration days, but I was so moved by the content and the message that they were delivering. So it's a great opportunity to learn on topics that are relevant to you as a trainee, but also in life in general. And then, you may find your next coach, which I did with two. And just the connection afterwards is amazing, and having beautiful, deep conversations with people who have obviously or are studying with Beautiful You or have studied with Beautiful You, and creating lifelong friendships. I now have friends who are Beautiful You coaches from all around the world, and it's from that I've created like one-to-one chats with them. I've created a mastermind, or I haven't created, but we've created a mastermind from the Hawaii Inspiration Day from November with people from all over the world. And it's just, I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's the connections and the friendships and the support that you get from meeting these people in person, and lifelong memories as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful. And those memories too, just to let everyone know, because this is often one of my most favorite days of the year, is when we get the photos back.
Oh, yes.
The photos that you get of yourself. We always have a divine professional photographer present on these days, and everyone gets access to those photos, which is so incredible. Gill, I would just like to finish up today by asking you, for anybody that is about to embark or is already even thick in it at the moment, training to become a life coach, or even just studying in any way right now and trying to squeeze the very most out of their investment and experience, what words of wisdom would you like to leave with them?
Oh, well, when I was thinking about this interview, Julie, the phrase that kept coming up for me was get involved and get invested. And that's going to be different for everybody, right? Depending on what your availability is and your scheduling and your commitments. But find a way that really works for you. And try and get involved in all the different pieces if you can. Like for me, I took it all. I had a buddy, I was on the calls, I was in the Facebook groups, whatever support groups, the inspiration days. So for Beautiful You, try and get involved in all of those things. If you're doing a different course, just see what's available to you, and find what is going to work for you and get invested and involved in all of it.
I love that, Gill, so much. Get invested and get involved. Thank you for being with us, Gill. It's been a joy to chat with you today.
Thank you so much, Julie. It's been great.
Everyone, if you would like to learn more about Gill and her incredible coaching and work, please go to the podcast section of our website. And I absolutely love everything that Gill has shared here today so vulnerably about learning and mistakes and overcoming perfectionism and getting invested and involved. And I'm sure that there will be at least parts of you as a life coaching trainee or even just a lifelong learner that you can see from her in you.